What is a question you wish people wouldn't ask you? Why are you wasting your time doing something that I enjoy doing? Why are you wasting time worrying about what I'm doing? I'm taking this response for later. Probably to dig myself further into a metaphorical hole. As a single dad, I wish people wouldn't ask me about my son's mother. 9 times out of 10. They just want gossip. I love the argument I have every year with the school. We need her contact info for emergencies. Nope. Absolutely forbidden, and here's the documents backing up she lost all rights. And if you take a cursory glance at page 3 you can fill in the blanks as to why she is to have zero contact. We still need to be able to text her for important dates. And in the event of emergencies. When are you getting married? Getting married doesn't stop it. The question just changes to when are you having kids? We don't know if we want kids. Oh, you'll change your mind. Itch. Why did you ask if you were just going to dismiss my answer? WHAT or is this? Immediately after learning I'm colorblind. Edit. I'd like to thank my mom and grandpa for the genes that got me this silver. Also thanks Rando. Same as when you take off your glasses and everyone is like, H, how many fingers am I holding up? Why don't you have a girlfriend? Up. Because I work weird hours and don't get to go out and meet people. Also, I'm socially awkward as duck. Quit asking. Mom. Username checks out. How's your love life going? It hasn't been going for years. You know this. Love life is a rather grandiose term for staring at women on the bus. When are you going to have children, or variations of that question? I feel like the too much information approach is the way to go here. When he stops finishing on my tits. Or, we've been going at it at least twice a day, but just aren't having any luck. Why don't you drink alcohol? If I'd give the real answer, people have a go at me for being depressing, but if I say I'd rather not explain, folk continually push for it. It's like being a non-drinker in Scotland makes you the equivalent of some rare wild animal to be studied. Edit. Just for a tiny touch of extra info, I've never drank alcohol in my life. Mainly due to things in my childhood upbringing. I have monumental respect for anyone who has had alcohol problems and is working on being sober. Though, alcohol is the only drug you have to justify not consuming. It's really annoying. Are you going to have another baby? When my child is not even 10 months old. So I guess you're behind schedule. Why are you so quiet? Why are you so loud? What happened to your neck? I have a big scar at my throat. Had my thyroids removed because of cancer. It's never fun to tell the story and people are all like, oh shit. I'm so sorry after that. Definitely a way to heal the mood. I got hanged for internet piracy, but the hack of 4chan rescued me. I got too frisky in the bedroom on Valentine's Day. It's a tattoo of my butthole repeated 67 times and overlaid on top of itself. The bungee cord snapped. The umbilical cord snapped. My boss snapped. So how do you do? Insert literally anything. I have Simbrachdactyly and was born with no fingers. I get asked a lot of questions. Dart. Also I text using SwiftKey, like swipe. I know that's what you were wondering. Holy crap. Thank you for the silver. And I was not expecting this to turn into an AMA. But I'll try to get to everybody. Also edited. I did used to use swipe. Now I use SwiftKey. I will post pics of how I knit and crochet. I know it's hard to imagine. But true. Thanks for all the questions, support and interest in my sex life. How do you do pronouncing Simbrachdactyly? Them. What do you do for a living? Me. Retail. The mo. Me. Yeah, I hate it too. Oh. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Which is a thing people only say about things they think something is wrong with. Why don't you get a haircut? As a dude with long hair, I feel your pain. My son has hair past his shoulders. The amount of rude-ass people who say, oh my god, that's a boy, when I say this is my son. Name. And most don't leave it at that. They keep going. He looks like a girl. That's a boy. Really, right in front of him. He's only 4 but he dresses totally like a boy. He just has long hair. It's starting to hurt his feelings. He likes his hair. How are you disabled? Oh. No. 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 My name's Jim. And I'm fine. Thank you. Are you a felon? I made a mistake a few years back while defending my little sister. I have a final job interview today after a series of interviews for a web developer position and I'm absolutely dreading answering this question. Edit, RIP my inbox. Also, thank you all for the kind and motivating words of encouragement. Say no. Then later pretend you thought they said are you a melon? If it all goes wrong. Are you okay? What's wrong when clearly nothing is wrong at all? People don't ask me questions. It's better now but people used to ask me. Which part of Korea are you from? Then I would say north because I want to just duck around with them for asking stupid question. Then they would ask is that the good side or bad side? So joke's on me. Is that the good side or bad side? God, that made me laugh. What do you do for a living? I got fired 6 months ago from my job and despite a few interviews and lots of applications, I'm shit out of luck so far. Now suddenly nearly everyone I meet is super interested in what I do for a living. I swear they would never ask that before. I hate having to tell people I'm unemployed. I've taken to responding with the most mundane career imaginable, which I then enthusiastically try to engage the asker in. Oh me. I'm in middle management for an industrial sheathing company. Everyone needs electronic devices. And we supply the sheathing to the cables in those devices. Right now we're working on a poly latex core with solid rubber sheath that's going to be an absolute game changer for the industry. The shams on these babies regulate dispersal heat for the flanges at 0.08 flops per millimeter of sheathing core at a rate of 3 times more squelch each second. That's over 5 times more absorption to the nesting bridge than any other sheath on the market. If you want I can show you some schematics on it that will really blow you away. Do you think vaccines caused your children's autism? Nah, they had it before we vaccinated them. But by doing so they now have super autism. A rare disorder only dumb ducks like you might swallow. How's the job search going? There was a period on my life when I was unemployed for quite some time and struggling to find something. I absolutely hated being asked that question even though I know the person asking didn't mean any harm. It just made me feel like shit and gave me more anxiety about things. If I had good news to share, trust me I would share it with you. So please don't ask that question. How is everything going with the adoption process? I put on a brave face and answer optimistically when in reality the process has not been going well. I know people are genuinely interested and don't mean harm. But it's a tough question to answer without breaking down. What's it like being a twin? My response is usually I don't know. Normal? What's it like not being a twin? We don't have special powers and we can't read each other's minds. We literally just look alike. Edit, I think some people are misconstruing the point I meant to get across. Being a twin and having that bond is awesome and unique. To me, a bond with a sister is just as unique because I don't have a sister. So I don't know what that's like. I try to explain it to people like that. I mainly meant to highlight that twins get asked some crazy questions that people are surprised by when they hear our answers. That is, can you feel each other's pain? etc. We do have cues, twin speak, that we pick up on with each other. But you're going to have those with anyone you spend that much time with. I have no problem answering normal questions about twin life or growing up as a twin lol. Working in the emergency department on the trauma team. And previously working for the fire department. People ask me all the time what's the worst craziest thing have you seen? Or sometimes people reference some hospital TV drama or Chicago fire. Asking if it's really like the TV shows. I don't want to relive the worst things I've ever seen. There is a reason I go to therapy every week. And no, it's not like TV. Not every patient has some life or death thing. Most patients are treated the ER like a walk-in clinic and could have saved loads of time and money going to an urgent care or calling their doctor. I used to get asked why I was single. All the ducking time. I have no ducking idea. Cousin Sheila, best friend Karen from accounts, Tinder date, brother-in-law. If I did, then I would fix the ducking problem. Now that I finally have my first boyfriend, almost, at 30. I'm legit now copping, but I thought you loved being single. Who are you and how did you get in my house? How's the weather up there? Double quote. Is that a violin? It says viola on the case for duck's sake. Why don't you smile more? I'm not a happy person and see no purpose in hiding my pain behind a fake smile. A week after my mom died, I went back to work. I was working and a older male customer, I'm a young female, came up to me and said, "You should smile more," in a condescending tone. I said, "Oh, excuse me for not wanting a smile when my mother has just died." He walked away pretty quick. Ducking as whole. Almost everyone. Is that your married name? Me. Nope. Never been married. Almost everyone. Oh, so that's your maiden name? Me. Yup. My father is full-blooded Hispanic and my mother is basically all Irish. I take after my mom. Fair skin. Freckles. Blue eyes. So when they see my very Spanish last name, without fail, that is pretty much the exact conversation every time. Like, yes, a white girl can be half Hispanic. Why are you gay? I don't know why I am ducking gay. Why do you want to know so bad? Yeah, but why though? I am married and we have one young child. Is he going to get a brother-sister anytime soon? Or some other variation? Especially from someone you barely know or just met. Listen. Everything about having kids is personal. From the act of procreation to the impact on your life to the financial considerations. Not to mention the feelings about it from the parents. Which may not always be aligned. Like, please. I told you my kid's name and how old he is. Now you wanna bypass superficial acquaintance small talk and go right to deeply personal plans for our life? Will you have children in the future? They changed my life and made me happier and you should experience the same thing. Even if you're as you still can have children. Yada yada. No, I would not for the reasons. 1. I know deep in my soul that I'm not a parent type because I have bad patience and can get annoyed fast. 2. I'm happy with my current freedom. 3. I just don't want it. When are you all going to have a baby? My wife and I have been married for 4 years and we had a miscarriage last year. I know not everyone knows about it and they mean well. But it still brings up a sore spot in our relationship that neither of us had any control over, so it's difficult to just laugh it off. PS, my wife is actually 7 weeks pregnant now, so we are hoping for the best this time around. What are you? They are asking me about what race I am. Because you can't tell just from looking at me. But the way that question is phrased is so dehumanizing. I'm a person. What are you? Why did you cry? It wasn't worth crying for. Shut up. Rondo person in town. What are you? Asian me? Rondo person in town. I mean, where are you from? Me. I was born in Pennsylvania. Rondo person in town. No, really. Where are you from? As a British male living abroad. When people find out I'm British, they always ask which team I support. I'm not the slightest bit interested in football. And after 20 years I still haven't worked out a suitably funny answer to the question. Any ideas? Where are you from? I'm not. I moved 18 times by the time I was 16. I pay taxes in Colorado. Driver's license is Washington. Born in Missouri. Graduated HS in Colorado. Spent 1/3 of my adult life outside the country. I'm from the US. Any more specific is generally not a very easy thing to nail down. If you're B, Why don't you just date girls so you don't have to worry about homophobics? My answer. If you like Pepsi and Coke, why would you only limit yourself to one? Edit. Thanks for the silver. Going through a lot of health issues right now. I hate being asked how I'm feeling or what more have the docs found. It's none of anyone's business and I'm tired of talking about it. Is that all they know me for? I know it's a default easy question, but they really need to come up with something else. This is gonna get lost since the post is so old, but I'll get it off my chest anyway. I've had a speech impediment since I was able to talk. I stutter on words at seemingly random times. Really no specific pattern or sound. When I get nervous or pressure is really high. As a kid I couldn't string more than a few words together. But through school and into college it got much better. As an adult I really don't have many issues in normal conversation. But I absolutely hate having to introduce myself in a group setting, conference meeting, etc. I seem to stutter on my name 90% of the time. It's pretty embarrassing. Anyway, the question I hate is when someone asks, "Did you forget your name?" I don't know what kind of rock they've lived under, but it completely turns me off from that person for years. Mostly it's meant to be a harmless joke. But if they'd simply put one and one together they'd realize how thoughtless the comment was. Anyway, that's it. Why don't we hang out more? Cause one mandatory hour per week with you is an hour too many. As a girl who always has at least one or two male friends at all times. Are you guys dating? Of course. Usually backed up by you guys should date or I ship you to, or you would make such a cute couple, seriously. Just stop. Type 1 diabetic here. Top 5 include, but is not limited to. 1. Should you be eating that? Thank you for managing my food for me. But I'm a grown-ass woman. And I can eat whatever I want. Now go away. 2. How are you able to inject yourself? EWW. Well. You see Karen. I kinda not want to die a slow and painful death. So I'll take the small and barely even there needle any day. 3. Have you considered keto? My aunt's brother's mother-in-law's dog has been cured on keto. That's not how type 1 works. Glad it works for so and so. But I like my carbs. Thanks. 4. Looks at my BG meter while I'm checking. Is that good or bad? None of your business. Now move along. 5. Could you please not inject here? I'm standing with my back to you. So my body should cover most of what I'm doing. Maybe just, you know, look away. Do you have a BF, or the alternative you talking to someone as the first thing they ask when they meet me? Just stop. Makes me regret leaving my room when I actually wanted to go out and have fun for once. Every question is fine, since I'm a teacher and I am tasked to answer them. Just don't repeat the same ducking question after I just answered it. Questions like, so, are we going to take down notes? Yes. Then another student asks the same question. Listen well when your teacher is speaking. People. God. I swear I'll lose brain cells every time they did. Why did you do that to yourself? Often referring to my hair, side shave, my piercings or my tattoos. I did it because I wanted to. It's my body, so why does it matter to you? Now stop questioning my choices.